It's not going to slide up or anything? Alright, cool. Oh yeah, definitely got to get your safety strap on there.
These things are too expensive.
Actually, it can stay right here. Just drop it where it's at.
Good right there?
Yep. Hey, this is Jamie with Full Metal Fabrications on part 2 of the Loadstar build. So as you saw in the beginning, we just picked this bus frame up. So there's no engine, no trans, and the inside has been completely gutted out, just except for a few things left over. So the plan was to use this frame, but put a different the plan was to use this frame but put some different axles under it, some updated axles with newer lug pattern, air brakes. But it had a lot of this rust jacking under here. So you can see that's my finger. You can see how thick it is. So I thought maybe if I cut this outer shell off that I could actually see if it's just the top lip or how far the rust goes. Well, rust goes all the way down. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's a lot of rust under here. So I think we're going to just have to scrap the frame, sell it, whoever wants it, rear end, everything. So that's where we're going to get into this bus over here. So I just recently picked this bus up from a client of mine. They had already taken the engine and trans and the whole front off. Pretty much I'm just interested in the frame, the front and rear axles, and any air brake components, the power steering, that kind of stuff. So let's take a quick tour. So the whole thing's pretty much been gutted. There's a little bit left inside that we need to take out. We need to take the floors out, take this top section. A lot of steel in here, so hopefully we can get some money for scrap to kind of make up for what I paid for it, which really wasn't much to begin with. So I'm not sure why the bus was scrapped, but I would assume because it had a lot of surface rust and some accidents or so. But I want to keep some of the cool stuff, like the sign that lights up. There's two of those. I kept the light that, or I kept the sign that was up there that said school bus, just to kind of keep the neat little things from it. Unfortunately, the guys that sold it to me want the wheels back, so I guess I got to find a set of them. But all in all, it has some other cool stuff like air actuated cylinder that opened up these bus doors. So I'll put that and make that. So I'll put that to use for something. I don't know. Something you'll hit a button and something on the truck will do something. I don't know what. We'll figure that out as we go along. But it's still a cool feature. So unfortunately, it seems like this is pretty solid. So might be a chore to take apart. But fortunately, these are all screws. Like everywhere along here, it's just screws that holds everything together. So I'm hoping I can just undo all the screws, just take everything off nicely. Hopefully I could sell the windows. So I know some of these cab parts are actually pretty good for internationals, like the windshield wiper setup. It's like its own separate control module, so I might be able to unload that pretty cheap. Some of the dash components, stuff like that. So yeah, so let's get started taking this thing apart.
A couple things actually. First, I want to turn. Oh God. Second of all, you probably moved the bus at least 2 feet forwards.
I know.
Third of all, your back tire's got like 2 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I know.
It's my turn.
All right, so after a few hours of work, you can see the mess I made in here. We took out all the vents on the top, took out the door, and took out almost all the windows. I didn't film that. It was very uneventful. Really, it's just taking these screws out along here on both sides and just pulling the window out. As you can see, I tried to take the Bobcat and smash in the back of the bus, but it wasn't successful. The only spot that really crunched in good was the rusty spots. This bus is a little stronger than I originally had imagined. So I got some of these auto dismantling blades for my Sawzall. So I'm going to cut all the supports, and I think we're going to just cut the roof into a couple pieces and then work our way down to the floor. So let's get started on that. So it's been about a week since that last scene of the video, and I've gotten a good bit done. As you can see, I haven't videoed a lot of it because I've just been working a little bit, maybe an hour here and an hour there, and just didn't bother to set up the camera for it. So, but I'll try and video this part. So this is what I've got cut out so far. And I actually got some of the frame exposed down there. I see why the bus was scrapped. This was all rotten. Back here, I was able just to literally take the Bobcat and push it over. But the challenge has been getting all these parts cut apart. Believe it or not, this is not an aluminum bus. This is all steel. So a panel like that size is easily 50 to 60 pounds and very cumbersome to carry. So I've been trying to cut them up into small pieces, put them on the Bobcat, and then put them on that big pile over there. And I'm trying to save as much as I can. So I've already scrapped a bunch of the wiring, that ran through the ceiling down below. I scrapped all of the heater cores. So there's a heater core in there. There was one over there, and then there was one by the driver's side. They all had their own fans, so I scrapped those. We took all the windows out, and I was actually able to sell the windows, and that's all that's left right now. And then there's other parts that I'm keeping. I saw these vintage, well, they're not really vintage, but they look kind of vintage. They were actually like hanging up. So they were like one was there and one was there, and they were like blowing on the driver. I thought those were kind of cool since like a lot of the older trucks have them. Thought that'd be kind of cool to put in my truck. And I kept like a bunch of like the relays. There's all the air parts. There's an air piston, and I figured this dash was worth something to somebody. Computer, or the truck ECM. And then there's a bunch of stuff I'm going to keep for the other truck as well, like the parking brake for the air system. I think I'm actually going to keep the pedal assembly and just mount that on the inside of the truck. And then I got plenty of squares, so I got plenty of these safety triangles. So anyway, so it just got done raining, so then I'm done for the day with my normal work. So see if we can cut some of this roof out and some of these pieces, and see how much we can get. So just accumulated all this trash. There's tons of scrap steel that I still need to move over to the other pile. So it's just a lot of stuff. So let's get to work, see how much of this we can get cut out. Alright, so I took this up to the scrapyard. I wish I could have filmed it, but they were kind of rushing me around because there was some semi-trailers up there that they were taking apart, and they're using like the claw and like pulling chunks of these trailers apart. It was pretty wild. But anyway, I took this load up there and got the money for it. So everything you see there that's missing, take a wild guess on how much money I got for it. So put it in the comments below, and at the end of this video I will put in how much I actually got for the metal. It's quite surprising. So, well, as of right now, I'm just going to start cutting apart these side pieces. We tried to push them in with the Bobcat. If you can see right there, we tried to take the forks and jam them, but honestly these buses are built too well. So it looks like it's back to the Sawzall and circular saw to cut this. So the only thing I have left to cut that's big is this part, but I think, like I said before, we're trying to save that front section right there to put in the garage. So well, let's get back to work. Alright, so the bus is completely disassembled now to the point where it's down to the bare chassis. I did save as much as I could, I thought I could use. So I did save the steering shaft. I'm hoping I can just mount it straight to this one without having to change anything such as the steering column or anything. I was able to save the brake pedal. which actually looks like it'll bolt directly up to the firewall in that truck, and everything else looks pretty good. All the airlines are intact. I have all the tanks. They're a little bit rusty, but I may just opt for some new tanks, but at least I have them for reference points. So at this point, the thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this chassis down, because this chassis right here, these back wheels are about 7 feet further back than the other truck, and I kind of like the stance of the other truck. I don't want to have too big of a bed, so probably end up cutting the chassis somewhere in here and here and bringing them together. So the biggest hurdle I have to deal with next is all the rust that was actually on the frame. I didn't know when I bought it. Nothing terrible. I don't think it's anything structural, but it's just a lot of flaky stuff. So you take a wire wheel, go over that, and then put something on top of it to protect it. So yeah, there it is. So stay tuned for the next video. Not sure what I'm going to get into next. I still need to take the cab off of that truck to get rid of the frame, and I still need to clean up this frame. So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe. And as far as the scrap metal goes, I took 2 loads in, and it was about 3,000 some odd pounds of metal, and I got about $276 for 2 loads. So not very impressive. The last amount of metal, which was like the floor and the very front part, I ended up just giving to the guy down the street that collects scrap metal. I just didn't even want to deal with it. It wasn't even worth my time to go up there. So alright, well, make sure you subscribe, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. It helps out the channel a lot, and I will see you on the next one.
I'll take a lookie, it's in a bookie. Camera. It's in a bookie. Oh, what just hit me? How are those things? It's in a book. It's reading. It's reading something. I don't know. Take a look. Oh, my butt's sweaty.